This is the Final Percent Podcast, and we are on our new schedule, which is Mondays and Fridays. Now, we're going to have the Monday one up so that hopefully you're on your way to work, you're going to get motivated, you're going to get inspired, you're going to get really excited about hopefully what you're going to accomplish this week. Now, today I want to talk a little bit about accomplishment versus activity. Now, what is the difference? So many people, when they're going through their life, going through their work week, their work day, all these things, they're trying to stay busy. They're trying to look busy. They're trying to post things about them being busy and hopefully doing things. But the question remains, what are you actually accomplishing? And that's what I want to talk about today, because so many things today is we want to make sure that the boss thinks that we're doing something. Well, what about showing them that we did something? And this is what I want to talk about so that we can really understand the difference between activity as it pertains to accomplishment, because I feel like in today's day and age, we are getting addicted to just looking busy. So we're getting addicted to activity. We're getting addicted to, what can I post on Instagram really quick? What can I post on Facebook really quick? What's my next status update? What can I tell my friend that I'm doing currently? Or if my boss is looking this direction, I've got to look busy, so hopefully they don't actually talk to me. So hopefully they don't actually hold me accountable. But that's not really a great way to live. We want to be held accountable, and hopefully we know how to hold ourselves accountable. One of the things that I say, character is who you are when you think no one is looking, no one is watching. And a great way to understand where you're at right now in life is when you go to the bathroom and you've got to get somewhere. You've got an appointment to get to. You're trying to get somewhere as fast as possible, as quickly as possible, and you go to the bathroom. Do you wash your hands every single time? Now, I actually know a lot of friends who have admitted to me when I'm trying to coach them or trying to help them out, if they've got somewhere to be, they get out from doing their business, whatever that may be, number one or number two, I'm not going to judge. But the fact remains is if they've got somewhere to be and no one's in the bathroom to hold them accountable, they just walk out. But if there's just one person, maybe they just got there, maybe they're going to the bathroom, maybe they're washing their hands too. If someone else is washing their hands, you are a lot less likely to just walk out of the bathroom. So that's something that I want you to think about is, who are you when you think no one's watching? Who are you when you think that when you can maybe get away with something? Now, I will tell you that's a very dangerous place for me, because I hold myself to unrealistic performance standards so many times. And so I end up just beating myself to almost death, to where my wife has to come and say, okay, it is time to shut it down, Greg. It's time to go to bed. It's time to this. But I wasn't always that way. I want to listen to that little voice inside of me that says, hey, you can go the final percent. Hey, you can go do just a little bit more. You can become more so you can do more so you can have more. But as we're going through life, I feel like people are addicted to looking busy so that they can feel cool, and so they're not actually held accountable in any way, whether it's with their friends, their family, their boss, their loved one, or themselves. And so what I'm asking you to do on this Monday morning, as you're going through, as you're trying to become something, as you're trying to do something, if you really want to have something of worth, you have to be someone of worth, and you have to do something of worth. And so I want you to really, truly try to accomplish something. Now, what are you going to accomplish? Set out some goals. One of the things that we just talked about in the last podcast is, what if we go try to watch a basketball game or a football game and they forget to put up the baskets or paint the end zones? It's really difficult to score if you have no idea what the objective is. So as you're going through life, what are you truly trying to accomplish today? What are you trying to accomplish this week? What are you trying to accomplish in your personal life? What are you trying to accomplish in your business life, in your career? How are you going to develop? These are things that you have to start thinking about. These are things that you have to start really, really, truly. Now, I struggle to say the word meditating on, because so many people think that meditation is the guy with the legs crossed and and your fingers out, and you're sitting there saying Om and all that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm saying meditation is so much more than what the movies portray it as. Meditation can be truly thinking in an introspective way so that you can say, okay, what do I want to accomplish? What have I accomplished? How can I be better? Really trying to understand, what is your why? When you get up in the morning, why do you exist? What do you want to accomplish? Who do you want to become? One of the things that I love to do when I'm coaching businesses is say, I want you to pick 3 words that you want people to continually say behind your back. One of my favorite things is I want people to call me a badass behind my back. I think that's such a cool thing. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have a lot of badasses in my life who truly surprise me day in and day out, and they give me a reason to keep going and try to surprise them on how can we achieve more, become more, do more, have more. I really want to say, man, if I get done coaching you, or if I get done talking with you or showing you a concept, or, hey, I accomplished this, I want you to go, wow, that guy's a badass. And you know what? I think you should be badass too, but you have to remember being a badass is literally just a byproduct of you being you. Literally, you being you needs to be, oh, wow, that guy's a badass. You can't go out of your way to try to be a badass. So that means you have to become a badass. Then you just operate, then you are one, right? That's just what you do. And the great thing is the byproduct of being a badass, the byproduct of being someone of worth is the money. You can't get up in the morning for money. So on this Monday that you're going to work, that you're maybe you've got some stress in your life. Maybe you're stretching just a little too far. Maybe you're struggling. Maybe you're a little scared. I want you to really think about, you know what? I'm going to be a badass for me. I'm going to be a badass for my family. I'm going to be a badass for my boss. I'm going to be a badass for work, a badass for my friend. That's one of my favorite things. And maybe I just said ass way too many times on a podcast, but this is a word that I think is just a really cool kind of all-encompassing thing, because you can be a badass husband. But what does it take to be a badass husband? A badass husband is someone who probably respects the heck out of his wife, loves his wife, adores his wife, wants to go the final percent for his wife, wants to go very deep in the relationship and make sure that she knows literally with every fiber of her being that he is there for her. Now that's a badass husband. So what does it take to be a badass football player? Okay, well, it's a completely different set of criteria, right? So what I'm just saying is badass has become in our culture, it has become something that is kind of all encompassing. Man, that person's a badass. That girl's a badass. I can honestly tell you my wife is an absolute badass wife. But you know what? She's also a badass executive in my company. And you know what? Full disclosure, we are trying to make a baby, and hopefully that happens soon. And I know she's going to be a badass mother. So what I want you to do, and you can only be a badass if you can look at what do you accomplish, you know? It doesn't really matter if you don't accomplish things. If you're just always starting a business. I know a lot of serial entrepreneurs, because they think that being an entrepreneur is so sexy and it's so easy and it's so this and it's so that. It's just not the case. Being an entrepreneur is unbelievably hard, and it's unbelievably scary. And it tests your relationship with yourself and your family and your friends and your employees, anybody in your life. It's going to test every part of a relationship that you could possibly have with that person. And so it really builds you into someone of worth. You become someone of worth if you can get to the other side. But the thing is right now, people think that being an entrepreneur is sex. Everyone is, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a this, I'm a that. But they're trying to start 100 companies, and they're not diving deep on one. And the same thing holds true with relationships. I mean, you can date a bunch of people, but until you dive deep on that one relationship and you commit to that one relationship, it's not going to truly transcend into something special until you are committed and consistent. So The activity should be committed and consistent, and it should truly end with being accomplished. One of the things that I have learned to tell myself, and I haven't always told myself, the reason why I'm able to say things like this is because I've been on the other end of this and been very, very, very undisciplined and bad, and it worked out exactly the way that you think it would. But I learned a long time ago to say, you know what, I'm going to awake with a purpose, and I will not go to sleep until I truly, truly feel accomplished. And that's what I just challenge you to do this week. So from Monday to Friday, I want you to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to awake with a purpose. And the day before you're getting ready to wake up, just start jotting down what is your purpose? What do you want to get accomplished? And what I want you to do is say, you know what? I will not go to bed until I truly feel accomplished. Until I truly, truly, truly feel accomplished. And you can ask my wife about this. There has been multiple times to where I will lay down in bed because I'm tired, or it's been a long day, or a frustrating day, or a draining day, and I won't feel accomplished, and I will get my butt out of bed, and I will go back to some sort of battle to where I know that if I persevere through, I will truly feel accomplished, and I will not go to bed until I can lay my head down on that pillow and feel accomplished. So just for 1 week, I challenge you to do the same thing. Wake up with a purpose, write that down, and then don't go to bed until you feel accomplished. Now, here's the caveat here. I'm not saying don't go to bed until you accomplish whatever was on your list, or this, that, and the other. Because sometimes those things truly are very unrealistic to get done. Because you know what? This crazy thing called life happens. All I'm saying is, you know, down in your soul on whether or not you should truly feel accomplished. And I'm just saying, when you lay your head on the pillow, I want you to truly feel accomplished. Do that for 1 week and watch your life change. This has been the Final Percent Podcast. I'm telling you, we're going to hit this new schedule. We've got Mondays and Fridays, guys. Thank you so much. This is the Final Percent. The Final Percent.